Hello, Blurry Cat. Hello, everybody. Hey, Prosnet. Hey, Ninjatron. Excited to see the new CLI? Yeah, it should be cool. It should really be cool. I'll show some stuff. So, by the way, to be clear, it's still fairly early. No, it's very early. But yeah, I think it's gonna be great. And by the way, I think I can also address your questions about like build system integration and what that will entail. But long story short, build system integration shouldn't be affected at all in a negative way. So should be good. It should be all around good. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go make myself some tea. I'll be right back. Hello. Waiting for 014. It's coming. It's coming. And there's nothing in the release notes. Zine has been updated to version 014. So that by the way, that's gonna be, so I have a branch here, and you can see now that if I do Zig build test, it's gonna fail. Because my version of Zig is past the, I don't know what to call it, name change gate. So now Zig packages have to use an enum for their name. That's what they have to do. So I have an updated version of Zine with all the dependencies. I just need to basically rebase this branch on master. So let's go do that. Hopefully this should be trivial. It's main in this case. Okay. Let's see if we build test. Almost. Something changed in our snapshot test, which is interesting. So what changed is that, so we have this new line that gets printed. Previously, I would start by printing section 0, but printing section 0 is not a good idea. So basically, everything is like shifted forward by 1, I guess. In any case, this is a good change to my snapshot test, so I'll take it. Okay, so we got Zine working. I'm waiting for the timer to go to 0, and then I'm gonna start working on stuff. So the plan for today is basically continue the work that I was doing to implement the standalone version of Zine. Oh man, what a day! So while we wait, maybe in the meantime, so check this out. So Systems Distributed has been announced. It's going to be in Amsterdam, June 1920, 2025. God damn it. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I'm just a kid. Yeah, it's going to be in Amsterdam. And Ender's going to be there. I'm also going to be there. So obviously there's going to be all the Tiger Beetle people, I guess. I mean, they're organizing the conference. So yeah. What else? Also, tomorrow I'm going to do a stream with Togglebit. We need to find content to discuss. Yo! So you're going to be there, Ninjatron? Nice. Bayleaf, building a low-profile wireless split keyboard. Okay. I mean, yeah, that design is not for me, but still. Nice. Huh. Nice to go through the details of doing the work. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a bit too flat. Also, ortholinearity, nice. But I do think that that there should be some, what do you call it? Uh, like column staggering, basically. Like I think it's nice that if the columns are not perfectly aligned. So not row staggering, but yes, column staggering, because your fingers are staggered. Hello, I see Ice Q4. Looking ahead. Okay. Anyway, enough news. Time to actually do some work. Okay, so here's what I have for now. I have, if I go inside tests slash content scanning slash simple, this is going to be the new structure of Zine websites. So ignore snapshot.txt for a moment. And actually the content folder structure is going to be, well, the folder structure is still going to be the same, but there's a Ziggy file. So the idea is you won't have a build script anymore, but you will have a declarative file that contains your website config. Are you Indian? I am not Indian, man. Why is everybody asking me if I'm Indian? You know what? I guess I look Indian to some degree, but no, I'm not Indian. Or rather, I don't know what percentage. I'm some percentage Indian, but the other kind of Indian, the Native American kind of Indian. So, as I was saying, yeah, so this is the new website structure, and then you have a Zine executable. The Zine executable will have a bunch of subcommands. So far, they don't really work, except maybe the help one. Even the version one doesn't work. Yeah, that hits a panic to do. So if you do 3, it will read your config file and then just print all the sections that you have in your website. That's all it does for now. I have also another command, Zig render. Actually, no, sorry, Zine. Got completely wrong. Zine release. I have Zine release, but that one is the one that I'm working on, but it's not fully implemented yet. So let's take a look at the code. Is trap C next big thing in C language? I'm not up to speed with what's going on with C, honestly. So not really interested. I don't think that any next big thing in the Zig language will be interesting for me, because I don't know. I just think that C is never going to be able to be as good as Zig because of the, its history, retrocompatibility, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I'm generally not interested in what C has to offer. I mean, I will look at news, and I'm happy that they have like what's it called? A standardization group, a standards committee that tries to move the language forward. I think it's good that they do, and I think some of the new things that were added to C recently were nice. But Trap C is memsafe C. Oh, so it's like an extremely less powerful subset of C then. I don't think this stuff is interesting, honestly, personally. Sorry. Like, I feel like the C is in some ways already a language that is too limited. If you take more stuff out, I don't know. In any case, so let's take a look at, so this is show 3. That one works. Let's take a look at run. So run is what gets called if you're calling the release command. Or rather, run is what is gonna get called if you run either release or serve. But right now we don't have support for serve. We only have support. Well, we're working towards support for release. So here's what I have. You call run. We start a thread pool. Allocator stuff, not interesting. We load the build information. So we load the config file from disk, the zine.ziggy file. Then we scan all variants. So a variant is a multilingual website, like the Zig website that has the same website for multiple languages. It's a multilingual website, and each language is a variant. So you have multiple variants. In our simple case, there's going to be only one variant. So let's assume for now, and actually the code here already assumes that in reality there's like only one variant, or rather other code downstream. In any case, so we scan all variants, and I think we do that in a nice way. So we have a thread pool, which I think I'm calling it work here, but I think I should rename it to pool. So we have this thread pool, and the idea is we see how many, for every variant, we have a content path, dir path. So we have a path to the content dir specific to that language, to that variant. And so what we do is we allocate a slice of structs for like a buffer or an array of structs for each variant. And then we basically offload scanning them to the thread pool for all of them except the first one. The first one we manage directly without sending it, without submitting it to the thread pool, because the case where you only have one variant, so it's a single language website, so like every website that isn't multilingual, then we don't even want to pay the synchronization costs of shipping these stuff to the thread pool, because at the end of the day, because in any case, we have to wait for all this work to be done before we can return. So long story short, in the simple case when it's only one variant, then we just do the work directly in our main thread, no thread pool synchronization required. So after we have all the variants, then we need to look at all the index.smd files, because they define a section. So here, what you're seeing here, let me do 3. So here we have a website that has this content. We have a root index file, and then we have a archive section that contains a 2024 section and a 2025 section. The index.md file is what declares that that directory is a section. So directory plus subdirectories. So like archive is a section, and that section contains 2 more sections. So, and this is what you see when we print 3, right? When we print, when you do Z3, we see that there is one section that contains, like the one section contains sections and archive index.smd, which is this file. So one thing to keep in mind in Zine is that the index file that defines a section is not part of that section. It doesn't show up as part of the list of pages in that section. That's actually, it's kind of complicated to explain this concept every time, but it's the most natural way of organizing these things, like by far. It makes everything so much more straightforward, everything else, once you internalize this idea. So that means that the root index doesn't belong to any section. Then we have but it does define a section in itself. So in this section, then there would be this guy here, which is just a normal page, and then archive/index.smd, which is a normal page, which in turn defines this section. But again, it doesn't belong to that section. It's still part of the upper section. So sections and index, well, I guess sections and archive are siblings, and then these 2 guys also are siblings. So basically, this is what we do when we scan a content directory for a variant. We detect which index files are sections, and what's important about those index files is that if the index file is set to draft, Then so the draft is set to true, the draft property for that file. Then the entire section is considered draft. So the entire section gets taken out of the rendering process, including some pages, even if they are turned on. So it's like it's a reachability, it's a tree like reachability thing. So what we want to do is like we analyze all the not every single page, because there might be pages that we don't want to analyze because they are turned off, because maybe they belong to a section that has been turned off, or a section above, like a parent section above that section is turned off. So anywhere in the tree, if something is turned off, then the entire subtree should not be analyzed further. This, by looking at all index pages here, and instead of doing it in like an ordered fashion, we will be analyzing more than what we need strictly to, because there might be that, a very high up index SMD file has been turned off. It's a draft, and so everything downstream from it shouldn't be even analyzed, but we do it anyway because it's faster to not have to coordinate. And in any case, it's work that is maybe wasteful, but not necessarily so. Or rather, from the perspective of doing Zine serve, so live updates, that work is not going to be wasteful, because the user might at some point then toggle some draft stuff off, and then now those things become activated. That kind of stuff. Next, after we're done analyzing those index pages, and we do that by sending everything to the thread pool. So for every variant, we look at the root index, and then for every section, we look at the index page of that section, that defines that section, and then we basically we do activate section, which go to references. Come on, man. I guess I can do this. So, and section activate basically parses the page and then literally says section is active, is not index.draft. Like it literally looks at the draft property of the page and flips a Boolean. Nothing more for now. So we do this. We wait to be done scanning all the index pages. After that, we do another pass, and we say, okay, now that we know all these things, we now basically schedule jobs for parsing every other page that is still active. So there we go. This is where basically I got. What is missing now is that, so here's my goal for today. Maybe I should put this here, explicitly. So the goal is this. The goal is make Zine report parse errors. Report site structure / page parse errors. That's what we're doing today. So we are not yet at the point where I can actually render the pages. I'm gonna get there, but I'm not quite there yet. So the next step here is basically start collecting errors and reporting them. So yeah. Always makes me sad when people don't know it means ice. It's fine. So so this is where we're at. So we do call add job with parse page, and parse page calls page.parse. The problem is that page.parse right now does nothing. So we need to implement page.parse. We need to take it easy, because there's like the previous way in which Zine worked that was very different compared to what it will have to look like now. So one step at a time, and we're going to do it one step at a time, making sure to basically, yeah, like make incremental progress without obliterating what was there until it's a good time to basically replace that piece of functionality with the new version of it. So yeah. So for example, here's, okay, I'm gonna do a couple chores that I wanted to do. Right now I have these this underscore meta field that contains all the private information that you shouldn't be able to access directly from the templating language. The templating language has like this metaprogramming system where all fields that do not start with an underscore become automatically available in scripty. So you will be able to do $page.layout, $page.draft, and it will give you draft. But I don't want you to be able to do $page. I don't know, like private info, like access the AST. You shouldn't be able to. Or I don't know, maybe one day you should be able to, but for now, no, because this is not wired into the metaprogramming system. So, what we want to do here is, basically I stuff every private property under underscore meta. Now there's a thing that's happening that is different from the past, because right now we have a staged way of loading pages. So a page will be either might have been just scanned. So like the page has just been scanned. When the page is scanned, we only have, I believe, we only know these two properties. We know the MD path. This extra underscore is because it was colliding with this property that I don't want to break yet, because otherwise I'm going to get programming errors, like compile errors everywhere else in the old code, and I don't want to break it yet. So here's what I want to do basically. Instead of having just one meta object, I want to have multiple objects, multiple fields, one per stage. So the idea is there's going to be like a scan. So I'm going to do it, underscore scan, and it's going to be a struct, and this contains properties populated after scanning a variant. And this will contain these two things. Subsection I don't remember when it gets set. Let's take a look at variant. Subsection gets also set. Okay, subsection gets also set while scanning. So let's move that one too. Okay. Let's scan. The next step is going to be, I think, parse. This is going to be properties populated after parsing the page. The reason why I'm also separating them is because I don't know if I'm going to set, like, I'm going to leave the undefined property in here, but I don't want to make them optional. So I will leave them to a dirty state. I will leave them as set to undefined, and it's like you as the programmer, you're expected to know when to access what. It's not so hugely complicated because like it's a linear process, so you need to know what, in which section, in which state am I going to be in when running this code. So it shouldn't be too terrible. Also, because if I make that optional, then you can more easily catch programming errors, but you can catch programming errors also with undefined. And you trying to unwrap stuff that isn't ready yet, it's like, it's not like using optional will make this any better. So we're gonna avoid that. And Zig can help me with a memory leak. Does your pseudocode also exhibit the memory leak? It seems it does. Program returned 0. Allocation size does not match free size. That's not a memory leak. You're trying to free the wrong thing. What's the problem, man? Let's see. GPA, deferred GPA, the init. You don't need the curlies. Drop them. Drop the curlies. Allocator, GPA allocator. Another suggestion, call this GPA state. And call this GPA. Next, URI parse, build URI, result build URI allocator foo. Okay. Try FMT, return. Okay, so here you have allocated. The fair allocator free result. This doesn't even compile. Well, that's because that doesn't compile because you are returning not the string, right? The string is what you allocated. So the string is what you need to free, not this guy. So for this to work, it has to be like this. So you return both things. And here you have then const URL const let's go to URI. Then here, yes. Yeah, okay, yeah. This is only the first part of the string, allocate the string. Yeah, no, you can't do this. This doesn't work. And that's what the error message was saying. The error message was saying, hey, you're trying to free an allocation that was actually longer than this. So in theory, you could try maybe to grab the original thing from inside of here. You know what? This guy probably has a reference to the entire string. You know what? Let's go investigate. It's just, I'm not sure if it's a particularly good idea, but you can do it, I guess. URI parse returns a URI. Okay, what's URI? Scheme, user, component, blah, 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 port, path, query fragment. Never mind. Yeah, this guy basically doesn't have any knowledge of, like, you cannot easily return, like, reobtain the original string from information in here. You probably, like, I would say you definitely, no, you, you know what? Maybe yes. Maybe you can use this information to reconstruct the original string, but like the length, but it's not worth it at all. So just return them both. Then here you reobtain both URL and URI. Then you want to do the fur allocator the free URL. These guys can go away. Keep in mind that you freeing, so you're freeing scheme, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so with this, we should be good, except that this is GPA now. Let's see if this guy likes it. Compilation failure. A result. Yeah. Error. Accept the type URI found. Invalid format, invalid port URI. Is this something that you try? I should probably double check. Yeah, parse returns an error. I mean, it's a parsing function. It's understandable for it to return an error. So we start compiling. There we go. Finally start compiling. Result. Expected. And I think they match. So we're good. Copy. Zig bin, share, copy, enjoy. Okay, so we move there the stuff available under scan. Yes, true. X2 is right. You need another defer freeing the thing in case that the parse function fails. I would say having that function both allocate a string and call the URI parser on it, I don't know, it doesn't work well. You should call the parser outside. You should have that function only allocate the string, in my opinion, and then outside of it call the parser. So I understand that this is like pseudocode, so your solution probably things will make more. It will be laid out in a way that makes more sense. But if you have that same thing, I would strongly suggest to split it into two different phases. Okay, properties populated after parsing the page. So what's gonna be? It's gonna be AST for sure. It's gonna be a super md.ast. You know what? Here's another thing. Oh, this is gonna be so good. We don't give these things default values at all, but we give a default value to undefined to the entire component. So that means that when I start defining this inside the other code, then I will be reminded that I'm forgetting to set something. But I will still be able to create the entire thing and set it to undefined. Okay, so scan, parse. I don't think I have anything else for now. So we have scan and parse for now. I think that also we need a place where to put errors. And I'm thinking that the page should own its own errors. It might not be the most efficient way. So for the perspective of like purely doing one run, I'm not sure. No, it's still better to have every page own its own errors, because otherwise multiple threads will need to coordinate to push errors on the same thing, and we don't want that. Okay, so maybe you can even put in here like parse error. Although I'm starting to think that having like one error, properties populated after parsing this page. Starting from this stage, the top level properties, I should say fields. Starting from this stage, top level fields, all top level fields are also available. Okay, so man, I really like this. Okay, this is so far really cool. What's inside the Super MD AST? Does it contain the source code? It should not. It contains errors. Oh, this is interesting. So the AST itself wants its own errors. Understandably, I guess. So I guess that's where we go fetch parse errors. That makes sense. Okay, we made changes that Zig build from any compile errors. So let's fix those errors. No size available for Type-C mark node. Oh, what? What? This was optional. What's your problem, dude? Let's try to clear here. Let's see. No field named MD path. Okay, that makes sense. Why are we... What's going on here? No size available. Okay, you know what? I think this might be like false positives that come from these other problems at top. So let's fix those at top. I also would like to be able to do watch. I need also to, you know what? I think I need to unwire from the build system all the old stuff and just wire in keep only wired in the standalone executable. That would make building much faster, I think. In any case, we go into variant, which is where we're using page. And let's see, there we go. So here we're setting meta, this stuff. No, this is now different. This is now index page dot underscore scan. There we go. Here's anything. No. What? All right. Next problem is we have now these properties are not called underscore MD path anymore. So we can fix that. No field named MD path. Are you sure? Oh. I replace it everywhere except there. Huh. Okay, this CMark stuff is driving me nuts. Why is this a problem now and it wasn't a problem before? What is going on? This error. So this is in Ziggy. Oh yeah, this is okay. I get it. It's yeah. This is like a metaprogramming thing because I have metaprogramming here that toggles off parsing and serializing this guy, but I don't have it for these guys yet. Okay, so here's how we do this, I guess. Here's how we do this. Okay, here's how we do this. Do we fix the build script at this point? I think maybe it's just a matter of fixing the build script at this point. So one thing that I'm curious about, like I wish I could see where this is coming from. Why am I worrying about this stuff, about Zig serialization? I know that I care about this stuff somewhere. Oh, you know what? I think it's in the other program that I'm creating. So let's go into tools and let's turn off everything else. We give options, for example, index assets. This guy doesn't exist anymore. Update assets. Guy doesn't exist anymore. To do layout executable. That guy also doesn't exist anymore. Look at this guy. Goodbye. Server. I'll leave the server for now. SHTML docgen. Oh, that one is interesting. That one I'll keep, I think. Zine executable. Zine run. Okay. Build error. Unused woofs. Let's remove woofs. Let's comment out woofs for now. Okay, let's see how do we do now. Get sliced out of fury. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so now we build. We don't have that same problem anymore. That's cool. I'm also curious why are we doing fetch packages every single time? Out of curiosity, if I remove the cache and I do it again, now I'm curious. Will it actually try to fetch the packages every single time? Yeah, it does that thing every single time. Okay, fine. So we have now okay, we've gotten back to building. We have scan and parse, which is cool. I like this. Let's have parse actually do parse. There's another thing. Source. Source is another thing that should be in here. So understandably, we need the bytes, the page bytes. So here's how parse works. Basically, we want to do this. Our final thing is going to be page dot underscore parse, and we set all the fields. And AST is going to be the AST, and source is going to be source. Okay, let's procure that stuff. So const source is going to be. Now here's the interesting part. There are going to be failures, and some failures are a problem more than others. So, for example, try to open the file. Actually, wait. Okay. Oof. So this is going to be interesting. We need we need an open handle to the content directory, which we don't have right now. And in fact, we need to keep around. Now that I think about it, we probably always want to keep it around. So let's assume that we also have content there, which is an std.fs.there. So we're going to do content there dot open file. Actually, no, read file. Alloc. Allocator is going to be GPA. File path is going to be we'll see, because that's also not obvious. And then we're going to need max bytes. Yeah. So about max bytes, max bytes is going to be the maximum size that we allow the page to be, which should be maxint math.max int of u32. Now we could try, but here's the problem. We don't really want to try. What we want to do is actually we can try, but here's the problem. If this fails, so if we fail to read this thing, that is a type of error that how can I say, it's not like a normal error. That's an error where we want to crash the application right away. So we're gonna do defer, and there's gonna be a few of these things. Like also out of memory is another one. We're gonna just crash in that case. So switch error. We're gonna do error dot out of memory. Just gonna print and leave. I don't think we have in here, so we're gonna need to procure this is like just basically print out of memory and exit one. Long story short, we're gonna have that. Although this guy is more complicated because this guy has other errors that can happen. So how do we do this? I would say like this. I would say we catch, and then we fatal the error. We probably need to have fatal file where we say, look, this file at this path, we got this error, and this is like a no return thing. Okay, this is nicer. Okay, we're ignoring path for a moment, so we'll get to that in a moment. But then after that, we basically just want to call parse, I guess. So parse is gonna be do we even have supermd.parse? ast.parse? Something along these lines. Probably once more, but we'll see. So that's kind of the idea. Now this is going to be another try. The problem is that this guy will return an error for parsing errors. In our case, what do we want to do? We need to think about what we want to do in such case. Let's fix the situation first. So here's how I'm gonna do it, I think. I think I'm gonna have fatal.zig. Yeah, and then from main. So here we have fatal help, which is fine. But these guys come with me. Then there's also variant that has variants of these functions. It has also fatal there. It also has a better implementation of fatal. So I'm taking these ones with me. Yeah. Okay. So const built-in equal import built-in. This one is nicer because if you in debug, it panics. So this, by the way, it's another nice trick. You want to have probably fatal function in your stuff, and having a fatal function that does not print a stack trace in release mode and does print a stack trace in debug mode, it's cool because you want the stack trace while developing, but you do not want to spam the stack trace to your users. So I like this. This is going to be like this fatal is the backbone of my like unrecoverable error handling strategy. So we have we have also I'm going to change this to I'm going to change this to exit, like fatal exit, fatal fatal there. So this is just going to be there, I think. Or you know what? Fatal MSG, fatal message. So this is going to be there. And then we're going to have also file. It's going to be the same idea. It's going to be very similar. It just shouldn't be confusing. So error accessing file, blah, blah, blah. Same stuff. Loving this. Okay, let's go to main. We import fatal. Actually, we have fatal in Zine. So we do it like this, I think. Actually, let's just do fatal is Zine.fatal. Now this becomes fatal Oh, that's it. That's the only fatal for now. Okay, I'll take it. Go to variant. Do we build? Right, page is not. Okay, we have fatal fatal.file. Okay, next problem that we have is path. So what's the issue with path? Well, the issue with path is that our path is not like a string path, it's a more complicated subject. And we're gonna need to we'll need to basically rehydrate that path. We will need to rehydrate that path. So path has slice. But that is not correct. So we're going to need pub function byte slice. Yeah. Path table. And then what do we do? So we could ask for an allocator. We could ask for an allocator. Hey there, Teufel. We could ask for an arena and make the allocation temporary to an arena. We could ask for a buffer and expect the buffer to be big enough to hold our stuff. Problem is, on window, a path can go up to 32K of length. On Linux and Mac, it's 4K. So you know what? Maybe a 4K buffer, and that's it. You know what? Let's go with the buff strategy. And it returns number of bytes written, I guess. So how does it work? How does it work? First, we need to go from the path to the interned components. Then, for each component, we need to call slice on it. And then we need to basically append this stuff to buff. How do we do this though? We can try to make a writer out of buff so that we can print to it. So how do we do this? sd dot what? fnt io mem bounded array fixed buffer stream. There's also bounded array, I think, that can be. We don't need the full power of a thing. Let me try to do this first. Let's see. Oh, but this one, it's okay. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Is it io dot? Oh, is there a lowercase one? Of course, there is one, huh? Get written, reset. Okay, let's see what are our options. Has a writer, has a reader. There's write. Let's see. If the return number of bytes written is less than requested, the buffer is full. Returns error no space left when no bytes would be written. Note, error no space left matches the corresponding error from std file write error. Seek to, seek by, get endpose, get written. Have you played around with JetSig at all? No, sorry. I haven't been doing any web dev stuff with Zig except the static site generator, which is webby, but not runtimey webby. Static webby. So, yeah. I guess we want right. And then we assert on it, I guess. Hmm. Or alternatively, we could accept a bounded array. Like, I don't like the interface of this guy. I like the bounded array interface more. Because you can append to it. And you can do like append assume capacity. And we can make this void at this point. Yeah, so for component, we make it bytes and then we do buff.append append assume capacity. Is it SCD bounded array or is it somewhere else? No, it's probably re-exported. I managed to hook in types into my Zine site. Oof. Cool. So buff append assume capacity bytes. And then buff.append. Oh, that's append slice. And then append assume capacity of std.fs. RSS is broken. Oh, I think the link is dumb. So the link is just dumb because I believe. Let me see. Yeah, you see, there's a terminal slash. That's on me. Like, you just take that one out and it works. A new version of Zine fixes this, but I can't change the website until I'm ready to make a release of Zine. And to make a release of Zine, we need the 0.14 release for Zig. So Zig will make the 0.14 release. I will Zine, like, head of main branch, like tip of main branch is already on Zig 0.14. It's just that until we have the official release, I'm not gonna cut the release, like official release of Zig. So that happens. I cut the release. I update the website. That will fix also that link. Okay, so why not bundle path and path table? Oh, this is not path table. Sorry, this is string table. Why not bundle them? They could be bundled, but I think it's okay. So far, it's okay. So I want to obtain what do we do for the separator? I guess you tell me which separator you want. Okay. We don't want to have a trailing one. Unless we do want to have a trailing one. Do we want to have a trailing one? Yeah, it's incomplete. Yeah, you're right. Oh, it's generic over its capacity. Jesus Christ. Um, yeah, I know. And also, we want a pointer. Man, the fact that this thing is generic over its capacity, it's so freaking annoying, honestly. Uh, well, what can I say? Fuck it. Okay, you ate 4096. I release unmanaged with buffer. Yeah, maybe that's the better option, isn't it? How does it work? Init buffer. Initialize with externally managed memory. The buffer determines the capacity and the length is set to 0. When initialized this way, all functions that accept an allocator argument cause illegal behavior. let's freaking go. Okay. Okay. So this works, except that we do need to say how far we got. Then we return this. We return out.len. Nice. Okay, so we have bytes slice. So now we can turn a path into the actual bytes of a path. And now we can solve this problem here. We can say const. So we need to create a buff. And so is there some kind of max? Of course, in the standard library, we don't have that. Oh yeah, items of len. So we don't have max path size anywhere in the standard library. That is annoying. That is annoying. We have, where is it though? SCD OS. Oh, wait, it's not under path? Deprecated. Rename to max path bytes. I thought we did. Yeah, POSIX, max, blah, blah, blah. Why is it not under path? Jesus. I think actually that function can be a try function, I think. Let me think. No, because we don't want it to be try. It's a programming error if this thing is not big enough. So we do p dot underscore scan dot. Oh, god damn it. I think we're going to need to change the API slightly. Okay, pscan.mdPath equals. The problem is that I have mdPath and also mdName. Do I really need to keep them separate? Path and name. I think it's dumb to keep path and name separate. In any case, dot bytes slice. So we want ptst, which we don't have, so we're going to need to get them. In this case, we want to use std.fs.path.sep. Also, check out this trick. So when a function returns a usize, it returns like the length of how much it wrote. You just put it inside a buff 0 dot dot. There we go. So we're gonna need pt and st. Oh, num. String table, path table, string table, path table, string table, path table. Oh no, I think I get it. So I keep them separate because that way a bunch of dupe almost equal things are all gonna be separate. Yeah, I think that's fine, I guess. Okay, let's change this a little bit. So this is gonna be the index. Then I think we're gonna have an optional component like name. Extra path component to add at the end. Yeah. And you know what? Here's what we do. We always do the path, the separator here. And then if name Beautiful. Oh, I like this API. Okay. Okay, so this is all starting to make more sense. We're missing these guys. We're missing also their types because we were being bad about this already. I don't know where to put this. Doo-doo-doom. Okay. So I have all the types. Next is, oh yeah, path bytes. Okay, so this also works. Next problem is invoking parse correctly. So let's go in main. In main, we could just call parse page. Parse page just wants a page. Well, this is going to be more nuanced than that. I guess at this point we can accept a const variant. But if we accept a const variant, then we kind of like widen the scope of things that we actually want to be able to look at a given point in time. So we might, let's be granular. Let's just be granular. Yeah, so parse page has to be like this. Activate section also has to be like this. String table path table. Okay. We're also missing the content there. Also, allocator goes first. Yeah, these two guys and then content there. Right. Honestly, you know what? These are basically almost all the fields inside variant. At this point, let's just make it easy on us. It's at this point, it's so much stuff that we might as well just do variant. Constant pointer to variant. We're not going to make any change to it. So yeah, just accept the variant, call it a day. Freak, we don't know what's a variant in here. Okay, let's undo this for now. That will need to change. But let's go manual mode for now, I guess. Okay, so these are all the requirements that we need to be able to parse. Then we also have another place where we could parse directly. But it's not invariant, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Parse page. I'm gonna call it pp. Oh no, just p. So p.page.parse. Then it's gonna be gpa, p.st, p.pt, p.content there. Okay, so here we do it the right way. Also here, this is gonna be different. ap.st, ap.pt, ap.content there. Ah, there we go. So this should be it. We need to update this thing. Did I do it already? I already did. It's missing content there. Maybe should we even go first? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is like this. Next is gonna be that main needs to update its usage of these things. Oh yeah, life was easy, huh? Before. Life was super easy before. Now not anymore. So activate section. Once a section, once a page. Content there. We don't know about that one yet. String table is going to be v.string table. So it's going to be basically like this also here. And also in parse page. Okay. So now I'm passing around all the right stuff except content there. So every variant needs to have its content there open, which we actually do open in here. Like we open it in when you call scan content there, and you give me a variant. So let's add this property. So I guess we close it on error, maybe? No, not even that. Where is it? Content there. So we don't close it anymore at this point. We keep it open, and then we put it down here. Hey, can also be const now? And then down here we copy it. There we go. Okay, let's see how we're doing in compile errors. Oh, I have all the RST stuff. Yeah. p.content there. Hey, Uncle Rager. Okay, let's see how are we doing now. Boom is not part mark pub. Oh yeah. Modified by an external process. What? Happy now? No field name st. Because I gave them full name. Extended type string table found const string table. Well, actually, these need to be const. At least they need to be const for now. Maybe we'll have a reason to make them non-const. But for now, they should be const because we're not modifying them. Type is not a function. Here's the type pointer to string table found contents to page worker 90. Section GPA string table path table contenter index. Oh, it's this guy that needs to be here. Access type. Oh, that's another casting. I'm dumb. Page. Right, it's here, right? Yeah. I should probably unwire also as HTML. You know what? Let's unwire also that one. Other as an uppercase L. Append slice system capacity. Are you serious? There is no append slice system capacity. Insert slice. Replace range append. Append system capacity. Append slice system capacity. Did I? Oh, I just typoed somewhere else. Okay, we're finally at the part where we need to figure out what we're doing with SuperMD. So there's ast.init, which can only return out of memory. Delicious. I love this API. Man, I'm such a good guy. Holy cow. That's awesome. That is actually awesome. So init GPA source. We can try this. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. That's awesome. And so with this, we parse everything. Okay, we're building. So we're not quite there yet. Here's what I want to do now to get to a point where we can, we're far from the final complete version of a fully standalone zine, but let's print errors if there's any. And I think that's going to be like a huge payoff, printing errors if there's any. So here's how we're going to do it. So basically what we're going to do is for every page, we want to look at parse.errors and see what's in there. But what I think we should be doing is instead, let's, for now, this might not seem like a particularly genius idea, but for now, let's add another property for it, maybe? No, fuck it. Okay, it's fine. Let's just scan through the ASTs and see if there's any errors. So in main, what we're doing is we run. We have all the variants. We parse all the pages. We wait for all the pages to be done parsing. Once all the pages are done parsing, let's print all errors. So for variant, for v.pages.items, if page dot underscore parse dot ast dot errors dot len is greater than 0, then no definition found. Oh. Something like print errors. We have a format function, but I think that's for debugging purposes. Yeah, this is just debugging purposes. Still better than nothing, but I think we want maybe error has some kind of formatting. Range kind. No, come on. Somewhere we have code for printing errors. Is it just not? Oh, you know what? It's probably not inside SuperMD at all. It's just part of Zine, I'm guessing. Well, I guess we can go in cache. There we go. Markdown syntax error. A syntax error was found in a content file. Oh, nice. Oh no, that part doesn't exist yet, right? This is the ad that tells you, look, there's a syntax error, but if you had the super MD LSP, then this would have never happened. Problem is, the super MD LSP doesn't exist yet. So I don't know. I'm gonna just copy this logic at this point. Okay, we definitely do not want the process exit one. This check is unnecessary. We don't have supermd in here. Let's get supermd. Let's see what else is wrong. Oh, it wants the full AST. Right, it wants the AST. That makes sense. Should we copy it? Make it a pointer? How big is it? Oh shit! It has a full arena in it. Pointer it is. I mean, shouldn't change much, but okay. And then we need the source, right? Okay, let's see what problems we have in here. Something need to do with path, probably. GPA. Oh, we're gonna need an allocator. Okay. Probably want that to be an arena at this point. Actually, doesn't really matter, I think. Let's see, is Zine standalone going to be the only way to use Zine in the future, or would you still be able to do the current Zig build shenanigans? The idea is that you would be able to do the current Zig build shenanigans because the current Zig build shenanigans, in reality, nothing would change for you if instead of having every single page build be a task in the build system, if that instead was part of what the Zine executable is doing, it wouldn't matter to you. It would still be the exact same because in the end, given how the build system works in Zine in Zig, where you have like a make phase, a configure phase and a make phase, and you can't during the make phase change the build graph since it's like static that way. It doesn't matter whether how deeply is the build process of Zine integrated in the build system. So nothing would change literally. You will still be able to give lazy paths to Zine. You will still be able to do things programmatically. I'll make sure that you will be able to do things programmatically. So that should not be a problem. Let's see. You decouple from the build system not to be tied to Zig's build system changes and releases. No, it's just that there are some things that I want to do that I just cannot do with the previous with the current architecture. I need to be in full control over everything that's happening. Otherwise, I won't be able to do certain kinds of caching or like certain kinds of behavior. So it's basically just time to move forward with our own with our own two legs. Okay, wait. The only problem is arena now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and then we need MD path. Front matter offset. Where do we procure that? Oh, you know what? I'm dumb. You can't just parse superMD with an AST. You have to get rid of the front matter first. How do we do it here? How do we do it here? Because we need to do that first, right? Where does that happen? FM. There we go. We do Ziggy front matter parser first. That gives us the front matter. Yeah, okay, right. We were not exactly there yet. There's a couple things that we still need to do. Not a big deal though. That's cool. We're getting there. So here's the AST, but before we get to the AST, we need to parse the front matter. This guy wants a reader. This guy wants a reader. No, that is annoying. Seriously, is there nothing better than the reader version of this thing? So, okay, let me explain what was going on. The previous version of this, we needed during the build script, build system config phase, we needed to read front matters so that we could see which files are like drafts or not. So we basically, while running the build script, we wanted to read some of these files, but not read the entire file because we didn't care about all the actual content. So this interface is based on that same principle, the assumption that you don't want to read more than strictly necessary. Which is annoying because actually now, you know what? Now I would love to read everything in one go. Like I just don't care. So that's annoying. That is indeed annoying. That is indeed annoying. But I guess it makes sense. Also, how was this working? What's in result? Hmm. This interface is not the greatest. Okay, I guess this becomes an open file. What's an open file? There is no GPA. There's no interesting flags. There's no max int. SMD file. Okay, so now we're passing R, just like this thing wanted. Then we need to check the outcome of this parsing process. And then here's the read all alloc. Oh, so actually there was max. Oh, this is way less than that though. That's like 10 megabytes. Oh well. So we read the file, we close it, read all alloc. Man, we're not even buffering. We need to buffer. Okay, this whole interface is ass. So I would say next thing, I'm going to make this work now. But then next thing is going to be, we need a different interface. We absolutely need a different interface. For sure. So what's FM offset then? Oh, right. We can't write stuff directly into it. Shit. Yeah. Alpha is in now. So far, not compiling. So can't answer your question. But if you stick around for a while more, I should get to a point where we're not going to be able to do everything, but we're going to be able to parse files and report errors from parsing, which is, I don't know, like the first 50% of everything that needs to happen to actually render the website. So it's better than nothing, but not the full thing. And you will be able to judge by yourself if it's fast or not. Yeah, so fast is broke compilation. Yeah. So this is the front matter, and the problem is that the front matter can have failures. Understandably, this thing can fail. Also, it can error out, and I sincerely hope that does it have errors? Else return error. Oh, this is reading errors. I hate this interface. This thing returns reading errors because it keeps reading and it keeps potentially failing that read. I don't want to touch this code because I will need to re-implement it basically. Although, you know what I'm going to do? Wait. There is a solution to trick the system. Wait a second. Wait a second. Read file alloc. Okay, check this out. Here's how you make a shitty API behave. Check this out. full source. So this is the full source. Then, and we catch fatal file. Hell yeah. Then we create a buffer stream of full source. Then we ask the stupid frontmatter thing to use fbs.reader. FBS needs to be var. So it does read, but it reads from our fixed buffer. I'm going to try to catch these errors because I want to see what they are. So I want to see the compiler tell me what errors can come out of this thing. Because we have reduced the error set dramatically by reading off of a fixed buffer stream. So then after we do this, now we can take a look at the outcome. So parse will have a outcome that can be empty. The document is empty. Framing error, Ziggy error, or success. So I think under parse we need something more. We also need like from frontmatter errors, basically. So how do we do this? This API is complete ass in any case. I hate myself the way I'm doing this. This is so freaking ass. Why is this guy in here? Why isn't this guy a pointer? God freaking damn it. I'm changing this. I was able to compensate for this ugly API. But this one is so bad. So let me tell you why this is so bad, okay? This is a union that contains an entire freaking page in one of its cases. So like this guy is small, this guy is small, this guy is nothing. This guy is ginormous. Like header, that's page. It's like it's this guy. It's this guy plus this plus this plus this. So that's absolutely wrong. So And then we are not even able to parse in place because we're gonna need to parse in here and then copy everything out every single time. This is so stupid. So how do you solve this? Simple. You don't put this shit in here. You accept a pointer and you write to a pointer and you just say to people, yes, look, that thing is gonna be like the pointer will have the correct information in there only in the case that this is success. In all other cases, the pointer is not going to be valid. So we're doing this. We are doing this. So parse can keep its same stupid, ugly API. But then we have an out parameter. Okay, let's see how do we... Yeah, look, we were doing it nice. We were doing it nice. God damn it. Also, it's parse leaky, so this guy kind of implies that we have an arena. To hold this stuff. I guess kind of understandably. In any case, it's not const header, it's header.star. Success. Just code. There we go. It's not even that big of a change, but god damn it. Oh, the thing was driving me nuts. Ziggy serializer, no field names, default value in struct built-in type struct field. Oh, the serializer code has bit rotten a bit. But you know what? This is not a blocker for us now. I'm gonna ignore this for now. Let's see what happens in Zine itself. Let's continue with what we set out to do. Okay, so now we have a slightly better interface. Read all alloc. Wait, also, wait. So no, we don't need to do this. I think that should be it. We don't have FM source here, so we need to handle all those cases, but let's do the other stuff. So we copy scan, we do parser page.parse, FES reader, and then we pass in P, which is what we write to. Then after we write to that, we restore scan. Actually, I don't even know how that will work. I actually think that... No, I get it. The problem is that you could define those fields in there and it would be a problem, I guess. Okay, it's fine for now. So we save scan. You know what? Let's leave it to do. To do. There should be a way to avoid having the user define any of the special fields so that we don't need to be defensive about it. Okay. In any case, so we restore scan. Now we have to worry about if the front matter parsing succeeded or not. So now that the front matter is not like insane, let's call it FM result. if so, if any result could have failed, I guess the AST should be optional because the page could be there. How do we do this? So the page could have a malformed front matter. If it has a malformed front matter, then we cannot parse the markdown. Well, the super markdown. We need to have a correct front matter first. So in reality, it's actually not guaranteed that the page has an AST. So maybe this should be like a union where we say, look, the result could be a bunch of front matter parsing errors, or success and we have an AST, but then once we have an AST, there could be other errors. We're getting close though. We're getting real close. So if we get this to work, you know what? I could, for now, maybe I could just, to simplify things, put there an assertion. Like we assert that the markdown, that the front matter parse correctly. So we don't have basically the machinery to report those errors correctly, but at least we can report the other errors. So just so that we can make progress. I think I'm going to take a very quick bathroom break and then I'm going to come back. And I think, so here's what I want to do, because I think I will be able to do it. I think that after this is done, I will be able to go on a normal Zine website, like an existing one, and run run standalone Zine on it in order to validate an existing website, which obviously by default will return no errors because the normal websites, like, they already build. But then we can introduce errors artificially and watch them happen. So I'll be right back, and I'm gonna work on this. BRB. Okay, I'm back. Let's go. So, we're saying, let's just assert that the stuff succeeded, and we can assert just by accessing the field. That's a good way of asserting stuff. So we're gonna say just a const fmt fm frontmatter source is gonna be fm result dot success. That way we can get the SMD source. We can get also the FM offset. Then we AST that. Huh. The problem is we can't just put there the full source. That's annoying. So this whole scheme that I have going on here is just too annoying. It's just too annoying. What I would want is to have everything be the full source, give the full source to SuperMD, and then just give to SuperMD the FM offset and have SuperMD basically do every calculation. Well, start the parsing basically from that offset onwards. Basically. Well, roughly speaking. This way, instead, I have to do all this stuff. Like, I need the full source. I need... It's annoying. Well, in any case, I'm going to fix it later. For now, this is fine. So I'm going to put in there the FM offset because we need it. And then we have the ST. We have... Okay, with this, we should have everything. Okay. So with this, we should have everything. Let's go back in main. So we need an FM offset. Let's just pass it down. Okay, now this doesn't have build errors anymore. Well, compile errors anymore. Print SuperMD errors. So let's see, for variants. If there are errors, then we print SuperMD errors. Pass arena. AST, this is going to be p.ast. p. Parse.ast. p. Know what we can do. Well, no, there's nothing much to gain. Never mind. p.underscore source parse.source p.underscore parse dot fm offset and then path. Right. So we need path. This also tells me that we kind of want to have path, I don't know, like first argument after GPA, maybe. Okay, we need to make the path. So buffer is going to be... Is it max path length? No. max path bytes. P dot underscore scan dot md path dot bytes slice stream table path table buff separator file system separator and then name. Yeah, p dot underscore scan dot md name. Okay. Do we build? Let's do programming errors and let's see if we can run this bad boy and take it for a spin. Okay, right. There's the error stuff that I wanted to see what it gave me. Out of memory, end of stream, stream too long, framing and empty. Framing and empty, in theory, they should not be able to bubble up because we absorb them in theory. So I wonder how did these two guys end up in that error set? Well, okay, so that's one problem. And then a second problem is no-module name supermd available within module root. I guess we just never added supermd as a dependency in here. Okay, so that one is solved. But now we have a bunch of other problems relative to serialization. Do I actually have commands that make sense? Twitter, YouTube, ZSF. Huh. I forgot that I had Nightbot. Okay, what were we doing? Yeah, so we have this parsing / serialization error, which is super freaking annoying. Super freaking annoying. Okay, but we can solve it. We can solve all this stuff. I want to double check though, why is that error, why are those errors leaking? On framing, we return framing. On empty, we return empty. On else, we return error. That's the problem. Okay, is this going to restrict the error set, hopefully? Yes, this has restricted the error set. Out of memory, end of stream, stream too long. Perfect. But still, find Zig. What does it do? Keeps reading. On end of stream, returns error.empty. Oh my fucking god. Turns out that actually a bunch of else branches didn't really have. No, okay, so this can still leak. Where do they leak from? Error.framing. Oh, here. While not, okay, what are we doing? Finds the first line. Clear retaining capacity. I guess this is the body. So it's basically trying to find the end. And if while reading it doesn't find the end, it returns the error. But it should be a framing error. If it finds end of stream sets done to true and then returns framing, why am I not just returning framing at that point? I don't get it. Why am I even switching? Is it possible to restrict the error set in RDFR? No. No, you can't, because you can't modify. You like once you are in there, you can't return anymore. You're already returning, so you cannot redefine the return value at that point. You can, yeah, you can use no. So I think the answer is no. The only way you can do it is no return, as far as I'm aware. But in general, defer and not defer, you cannot modify the return value because you already returned. So you can't return again while you're returning. Out of memory stream too long. How is stream too long reaching there? Okay, so you do find Ziggy. It can be either framing, it can be empty, or I guess it can be another error. Can it be another error? Why can it be another error? It shouldn't be another error. It's either framing or empty. It cannot be anything else, I think. Well, no, it could be another error because the reader could have other errors. Okay, so fine. But then down here, we have parse leaky. They don't catch returns a Ziggy error. Which is interesting because this guy could actually run out of memory, could he not? Overflow out of memory syntax. Success. End of stream, empty framing, otherwise return error. Oh, I guess the problem is that, what is the other error in our case? Stream too long. What's actually stream too long? Okay, you know what? Okay, let's leave it there. Okay, fine. I'm actually sold on this situation. Okay, page. Then, so in our switch, we have to worry about errors. Which could be out of memory or stream too long. I guess we can just fatal file that stuff. Okay, now we're left with the metaprogramming errors in Ziggy. Okay, let's do the Ziggy stuff. Super annoying, but we have to. I'm thinking this should even be inside of Ziggy, maybe. Let's see. Another way is to wrap a function out of a function. I think that needs to be in line else if you want Zig to reduce the error set. Um, well, no, I think you saw that the normal else was able to do that. So I was actually letting some errors through. So I did achieve a reduction by capturing. So it doesn't have to be in line. But I was still. But the problem is that there are still some transport specific errors that I guess they need to survive. I think that you were right at a point in time. Like I think that in the past, you were right that the error set wasn't getting shrunk if you weren't doing inline. I think now the compiler just got better. Let's see. How does wrapping a function in a function help with handling a specific error case? Well, basically, since it's another function call, you can catch the error from that function call and then remap it to something else. So you cannot do that directly inside of an error defer because the error defer is still the same function. You're already returning, so you can't modify things. But then you can have a wrapper function. That one will take your value and then it will be able to return something else if it wants to. Okay, let's see if we can make this work. So this is going to be an ampersand, I guess. Let's see. Missing struct field MD path. Missing struct field MD name, missing struct field subtraction. Oh. Yeah, you can return undefined. We're getting there. We're finally getting there. Expected type void. Found error out of memory. Oh, I guess our function can and we don't handle Not here in main. We're in here, so let's not Oh, we built. Okay. So we have a sample website. So this is going to be Zine release. Okay, bunch of debug stuff. Bunch of debug printing. Flag initialization error in CMark register node flag. Flag initialization error in CMark register node flag. So I think our CMark dependency has issues. Either that or we are tripping. So we're running this stuff in debug mode. And so we're probably tripping some assertion inside CMark register node. But also, how? Did I never build this stuff in debug mode in the past? Really? I do pass down mode to SuperMD. So we were always compiling SuperMD accordingly. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what we're doing here. Do we link libc true? Delightful. CMark GFM. B dependency GFM. Oh, we're not passing anything to GFM, and that's a problem because GFM. Okay, so we always build CMark in debug mode. Okay. Zone, we have GFM. Hey, that's my thing. Oh no. So this guy has a build.zig? Is that it? It does. And it has the standard optimized option stuff. And we never set it. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that is a problem. So Zine up until now has always had markdown parsing running in debug mode. That is interesting, for sure. Let's wire in our local SuperMD. Nothing should really change for now because we're still building everything in debug mode. There's so these error. This is something new, and I think this might have something to do with some changes in Zig itself. Although, oh, I think I know what it might be. Maybe the problem is that CMark is not thread safe. I think this might be multi-threading problem. Range, line, span. Where do we do initialization? AST init arena parser like, for example, this thing, markdown, CMark GFM core extensions ensure registered. I think some of this stuff might not be properly supporting properly multi-threading. Okay. Where can we learn more? Where can we learn more? I guess under source. Wait, shouldn't it be something like include? No, they put on everything on source. I guess. Why not? Any mention of thread? Any mention of the word thread anywhere in this repository? None at all. The thing is, okay, let's look at the ensure registered stuff. I guess it's in here. No, it's in here. It's not in here. What? Oh, it is in here. Okay. Only one instance. Okay, you know what? Let's look at where these after trips. Where is it? Flag initialization error. Also, you know what? GitHub is not good enough. This is not my repo. Why do I have CMark? Why do I have CMark GFM? But not mine. The heck? But you know what? It doesn't matter. Okay, ensure is used in a bunch of, yeah. Static int registered. So static int registered, it means that this is a global variable. Yeah, but it's going to be different, right? Per every thread. Every thread will have its own thing. Jesus. It's global, not per thread. Yeah. Yeah, but wait. What happens if this gets called in a thread? wait, they will share, right? They will share the same value. Yes, it's just not ready to be messed with in a asynchronous way. Okay, so long story short, I guess I need to basically do I need to initialize this stuff on the main thread so that the threads are never going to do this. Basically, the threads will always see register set to true and never attempt to do it. You could even argue that there's this private function. Is that a Mac Mini? It is, yes. So there's this private function, right, that does this initialization plus other stuff. And then returns a cmark AST given source. This should read, this should create a new one. Cmark parser attach syntax extension. Yeah, so this is another API that I think needs to evolve. Maybe I'll just do this. Okay, what's in our root? We have, oh, we do expose C. We also expose this as a extern in here for some reason. It is certainly a choice. So I don't need a local supremd in the end. I can use a normal one. I don't think I made any other change to it, right? It's Ziggy, the only one that I really changed. So in my main function, I will do this initialization before anybody else. Oh, it was in the other guy. Okay, let's see how that goes. Okay, we got a bunch of spam. So despite the spam, this should be a success. Let's make a release build. Just so that we don't see the spam. Oh no, I remember what I changed in local supremd. Building the markdown parser in release mode. Okay, so yeah, so when everything is correct, it looks like this. Let's add an error. Let's add an error. So in this file we're gonna have we're gonna try to access a wrong thing that doesn't exist. And now that I think about it, the markdown doesn't really have real other errors. Well, maybe in another file. Oh, oh, I changed another thing that I shouldn't have changed. God damn it. Okay, here we do it IDX. And then inside our main index, we do some HTML, which is not allowed. There we go. A syntax error found in our content file. Man, this is really fast. That's nice. We are still running the markdown parser in debug mode, by the way. Okay, so where is my other error though? Why is it not complaining about the span stuff? So let me restore this error here. It doesn't complain? How will you benchmark speed versus Hugo? Well, I guess you can create two comparable websites, right? They are basically that are basically the same, and then you, I don't know, measure how long it takes. But you know, I'm not a huge fan of benchmarks at the end of the day, so I don't even know if I will bother. The thing is, I'm just gonna make Zine as fast as I can, and I think it will naturally become faster than Hugo. In reality, Hugo is a good benchmark, in my opinion, from the perspective of being a real world project that if you can match or surpass, then it's meaningful. But also at the same time, it's like it's written in Go, so their performance ceiling is obviously lower than ours. Our performance ceiling is much, much higher than theirs. So, yeah. Why is this allowed? Why is this HTML allowed? Why is this not a problem? Oh, now it is. Oh, it's the span that we don't catch. Is that it? Okay, it's the span that we don't catch. Um, let me undo the change here. Wrong file. Nice. Look at all the errors. A syntax error found in a content file. And by the way, this error style of printing, sorry, the style of printing errors is also, you can see that it's not designed to account for reporting errors in multiple files at the same time. Because that was a thing that it didn't, like, it worked in a different way in previous Zine. In previous Zine, every job was one file. And so the build system, the Zig build system, would then per job report errors relative to that job. Now it's like everything is one thing. So we're gonna need to make this better. Nice. What is the actual performance difference between an unmanaged compiler language and a GC compile language anyway? I think it's something like 2.5 to 1, but it's based on Java. Greaser, that is, it needs some ANSI color coding. You know what? I agree. Yes, we need to make it nice. Greaser, that is not really the point in my opinion, because, or rather, sure, that makes a difference. But also, here's an example of something that I'm doing right that you just do not do in Go. Look at this string table. So okay, you know when you have a hash map and you put strings in a hash map, right? And those strings, they exist as separate allocations. They exist in different places. Like for example, imagine that it's paths. Well, paths maybe it's not a great example because they also have a path table. But in any case, you have all these strings flying around. What I'm doing here is that I'm basically using a string table to intern them, and then I can create a hash map that uses basically only numbers, which are offsets into the string table as keys. This will give me the ability to, this is something that the Z compiler does as well, for example. So like, right, that's one. That's one of n things that you can do in Zig that are just like, I guess technically you could do also in Go if you were really evil and wanted to. But at the same time, you're fighting the language to give me enough time. Why is this not? What's going on here? Why is this stuck? It's stuck in a wait. How the heck? We're stuck on line 94. We're stuck in this wait. Why are we stuck in this wait? We're calling add job. Add job starts a job. This is really... Oh, well, yeah, the debugger is attached. This is really weird. So it normally runs fine. Somehow I got it stuck at some point. Like, what the heck? Like, this stuff is also so simple. How can it be messed up? I don't get it. Let's see. The only way I can think of in terms of fighting the language Zig is stuff like the Win32 API having constants which map to align pointers. So in theory, one could get it to behave, but in practice, I have no luck with it. I see. Well, okay, so we got the standalone executable to report some errors. We did take on some debt though to get here because we didn't do a perfect job. So here's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm kind of done with the stream, so I'm happy. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I guess the next step is gonna be for me to, in my own time, to remove all the weird limitations, like fix all the weird APIs, remove the weird memory management stuff that I was doing, and then polish the error reporting. And maybe add some colors to it. Why not? This looks cool, though. This is going to be fast as fuck. I can already tell it. It's going to be fast as fuck. So here's going to be my roadmap. My roadmap is going to be re-implement all of Zine as a standalone executable without serve, meaning that, or rather, maybe with serve, but without incremental updates, meaning that every time you run it, it will rebuild the entire website. And then I will implement incremental. That said, I'm already thinking about incremental as I write it. So how can I say? It's like it's not like I will have to start from scratch. I will have taken steps to make that easier for me. But also at the same time, I've never done incremental updates implemented myself. So there will be, in any case, there will be some learning there, I think. But so far, this is really cool. And I think that I will be able to make standalone Zig useful relatively fast. The main thing that slows me down is going to be the fact that I want to get it right, like first try. So like I'm not just prototyping things, make them kind of work, and then moving forward to cover more ground and like leaving behind a bunch of debt. No, I'm this time I'm going slow and being methodical about it. I've gained enough experience that I can be slow and methodical and like not get stuck forever in like optimizations that maybe make no sense. I don't know. Maybe there will be some of it still, but not a ton. Okay, so let me see. Is anybody streaming Zig development? If there's Zig development, I will raid whoever does Zig development. Otherwise, I will call it a day. Tenated is not live anymore. Learning C++. Oh no. Why? Why? I think I'm gonna stop here. Actually, let me double check the other Discord. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Well, thank you all for hanging out, and